Welcome back to our program, Beach Variety Culinary Arts. COVID-19 has affected all avenues of education, especially learning programs, which are face-to-face as well as hands-on. So for this segment, we're going to be speaking with Miki Stevens to discuss being both a student and a culinary instructor during the COVID-19 pandemic. Miki Stevens, thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here.
Just talking culinary stuff, I'm already hungry, so I want to know how you do your magic. So, all right, first of all, first question, tell us, who are you? Tell us your story.
Oh, how much time do you have?
I'm clearing the decks. Go, baby.
All right. Well, just a shortened version. So my name is Miki Stevens. I'm 21 years old. I'm currently a student at Cal State San Bernardino. And my job is a chef instructor at Claremont Chefs Academy in Claremont, California. So that basically means I teach children how to cook. Occasionally I teach adults how to cook, although I feel like I don't have the power over adults to do that. So I stick with the kids. And then during the weekends, we do birthday parties.
Really? Okay, well, I'm just a grown-up kid. Could you still teach me, I hope?
I could try my best,
Awesome.
Maybe if you show up at a time that I teach.
Okay, well, okay, this is not on the list of questions that I have for you, but I do want to ask you this. So culinary arts, what is the weirdest thing that you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten, I have eaten fried alligator before, and I've also had escargot. So those are the two that stick out.
Okay. Thank you for that. I might have little things like that. I'll just blurt out at you, okay?
Of course.
So what are the primary objectives of the Academy?
So I would say learning how to cook is obviously number one. We teach our kids different culinary trades, so knife safety skills, other safety skills in the kitchen, food safety, and then I like to teach my kids specifically trying new things. So a lot of them are kind of picky, and I'll be like, if you don't like something, at least try the dish. If you don't like it, don't eat it. But I like to try to get that out to them.
Okay. Well, what inspired you? Okay, so let's talk about when you were younger. What inspired you to pursue cooking?
Let's see. So I actually took classes at the place that I work at the moment. So I used to go there when I was a kid. I think I just started them kind of out of the blue. I needed something to do after school, and that was nearby me. So my parents took me over there. It was just kind of a random thing, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I really wanted to be a chef when I grew up because of going there. And, I've reached that dream, I'm a chef right now, so.
How about that? Now, did you feel because you must have had a positive experience there, did that make you inspire you to just say, okay, I want to do this. I want to pay it forward in a way and teach kids myself?
Yeah, kind of. So actually my studies are psychology and child development. So I have the experience, or working here, I have the experience working with the kids. And then also I had a good, relationship with my bosses at the moment when I was a kid. So, they got to hook me up with that job. But yeah, I loved my teachers when I was there, and I just kind of hope that I have the same effect on my kids. I would like to think.
I'm getting that sense that I think you're probably achieving that. So how has your position helped in your college studies?
So actually, being a child development major, we talk a lot about child development, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So I kind of get to see that in real time. At my work, I have kids that come in for the first time, and I teach them, knife safety skills, and I get to see them progress in their development of doing that. And just in general, I've had a couple kids that I've known for a couple of years at this point. So seeing them grow up is just oh my gosh, look at this. So that's kind of been helping.
How fun is that? All right. So now that we've talked a little bit about you and your position, let's take a brief tour through the Claremont Chefs Academy.
choice did you make? Those smell salt. Because you only need. Yeah. So you need 10 pieces. Good rips.
Yeah.
Are these?
Let's see what.
It's all the salt. Okay.
I can like feel the salt.
I know.
It's assaulting. Did you get that? Did you get that? This goes by pretty fast. I have them sometimes sometimes you guys.
Alright. Thank you. Yeah.
Release. Quite honestly, I would say in a month you could probably go snowboarding as long as it doesn't fall.
Yeah, let's do the same.
Uh-huh. That's how we do.
Oh, is there more chairs in there? All I have is.
Yeah.
I didn't look in the refrigerator at all, but.
That's bare shoes.
Okay. That was his portion of the recipe.
What else do you guys gonna make? Wait, when is Easter? I already know.
Easter's in beginning of April. So, or second week of April. Oh, April 4th, I think it is. That's when Easter is. So we're doing.
Heck. Jeez Louise.
You know what I love about watching you prepping and waiting for the kids to come is that we were just talking about how, you know, when you can get kids exposed to this kind of thing early on, it can open up just a whole world for them. And so I'm just excited to see, you know, that you are doing this and I think about all the teachers that had an impact on me, and you are really speaking into little lives, right? And influencing them, not just teaching them how to don't cut each other with this knife, but they look at you as a teacher and they, well, maybe there were some mishaps there. I don't want to go into that, but anyway, so we're going to have a lot more to talk about. So when we return, Miki Stevens will discuss teaching the variety of culinary skills in different food groups at the Claremont Chefs Academy. So we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. All right, so question for you, my dear. How many different kids do you usually interact with throughout a season?
So I personally, I work with about 28 kids per week. So we have like 4-week sessions and then the kids come once a week. So I work usually Mondays and Wednesdays. So through those 2 days, I have about 28 kids. And then for birthday parties, we have them either Saturday or Sunday or both. So I have had days where or weekends I've only had 8 kids. I've had weekends that I've had 30 kids. So it just really depends.
Right. What a fun thing for a birthday party. So are they making their own birthday cake kind of thing? Is that what that is?
So we have like a couple different options. So we have like pizzas, we make calzones, we have pasta parties, we have burger parties. We used to have one that was like ice cream and cookies, which is like the closest thing to cakes. Pre-COVID, we would have people bring in their own cakes, and then now that COVID is happening, we just provide cupcakes and they get to just decorate them.
Got it. So how many classes do you usually run?
So during the week, I believe it's about like 11 classes.
Really?
And we also have adult classes once or twice a month, sometimes more. We always have special needs classes, I think twice during the week. We have homeschool classes. So we have a lot of things to offer.
Wow, no kidding. Okay, how many teachers are at the academy?
We have 8 employees, so it's my 2 bosses and then 6 of us. Some of us are quite young. I'm part of the younger crowd, and then some of us are a little bit older, but it's really fun. All of us get along really well, and it's like a party every time we're all together.
Oh, that makes it so great. Okay, having fun with your coworkers. So I got to ask you this. What is your favorite dish? I guess I got a couple of questions here. For the students to make, what is their favorite dish to make?
That's a good question. There's no like one specific thing. I actually asked them a couple weeks ago. I was like, what's the best thing you've ever made here? And it's been such a range. Like I had one girl who said California rolls. I had one girl who said we made little individual fruit pizzas, so healthy options. I had a girl say Mexican street corn salad we made a couple months ago. So they're into a lot of different stuff. Although surprisingly, they were really into the Asian food we made last month. We had an Asian month, and a lot of them were really into it. So that's good.
I like the California roll option. Well, what is your favorite dish to prepare?
So, truthfully, anything easy. But easy to clean up as well, because sometimes a mess is not fun. But actually, I've made pizzas so often at my job that if given the ingredients and the measuring tools and the bowls, I could make a pizza with my eyes closed. So
Wow.
I would say pizza is just a nice go-to thing.
Okay. And I've never heard of fruit pizza before. That sounds actually pretty yummy.
It's just like a little cookie. We put some cream cheese frosting on it, little pieces of fruit. It's delicious.
Yum. All right. Well, what are some technical skills and tips that you teach the kids? Don't cut each other. We heard that one. So yes. What else?
So actually, we do go over knife safety rules every week. I tell them every week, and actually, a lot of my kids have them memorized, which is good, so they know already. But I still like to go over them. But for knife safety rules, I'll teach you, since you were asking me about some,
yes,
culinary stuff. So
please.
Pay attention, okay?
I'm paying attention. I've got my pen. I'm writing down.
All right,
yes.
Perfect. So first rule is your knife is a tool and not a toy. So that kind of goes with the no, stabbing anyone. I always tell them don't have a sword fight or shave their face or throw like a dart. They never do, just in case though.
Okay.
You never know what'll happen. Your second rule is you have your cutting board in front of you. You want to keep your knife in front of that cutting board with the blade facing away from you. That's just to make sure when you go and grab it, you don't nick your finger, because that's not fun. And then the last rule is you keep your knife and your food in your zone. So you take your hands, you put them to your shoulders, put them straight down, and then everything stays in your zone, nice and clean.
Keep it in your zone. I love it. All right. So when we come back, we're going to discuss teaching at the Chef's Academy, as well as how it has been affected by COVID-19. So we will return in a moment. Welcome back. All right, so let's get real here, Miki. speaking.
All right.
Kids can often be troublesome. I don't know if they're up this late watching you, but I'm just saying they can be. I've heard.
Yes, I didn't give them the link to this, so
Okay, good.
this is all
So-
between us.
So let me ask you about your trade secrets. How do you keep them under control, especially in a delicate space like a kitchen?
Let's see. So just being honest, it's kind of difficult sometimes. With both the young kids and the older kids, my different classes are different. So I have some of my older kids are quiet, they're great, they listen. Some of them, not so much. But it's mostly just a lot of like telling them to quiet down, to listen to me. I have a rule whenever I teach is just if you hear me talking, you should pause your conversation just so you know what's going on. Because sometimes I'll say like, okay, let's do this. And then I give them, a bowl to put their food in. They're like, what am I doing? And I'm like, you listen.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
But
and then you shame them publicly. No, I'm kidding.
I try not to, but sometimes you got to do it to get them to listen. So.
Well, you know what? You should do what I did with my kids. Shock collars. No, I'm kidding. That'd be horrible.
If I had the budget, absolutely.
So how has the academy operation been changed? Obviously, it had to have been changed because of COVID.
Yeah, so I'd say our biggest change, I think, has been class sizes. We used to, for normal evening classes, we used to have 16 kids total. So we'd have 10 in our front classroom and 6 in our back classroom. But right now during COVID, we can only have 8 in the front, still 6 in the back just because there's a little bit more space. So we have to make sure all the tables are all separated. The kids are sitting at different sides of the table so they're not like close to each other. And then also pre-COVID, our birthday parties, we would have occasionally parties of like 20 to 30 kids. We'd have to put some in the back and some in the front. But I've had parties where we've had like 25 5-year-olds in the front kitchen all squeezed together. And like, it's a nightmare, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
you can't do that now, right?
Yeah, just class sizes are a lot smaller. We clean a lot more. My coworker has like one of those UV lights that like kills bacteria or something. I think that's what it's supposed to do.
Right.
So hopefully it does that. But yeah, we've been cleaning more, smaller class sizes. I think those are probably the biggest changes.
Oh, no, that totally makes sense. So have there been limitations on what you can actually prepare because of COVID-19?
For normal classes, not really. We do kind of the same things, but for birthday parties, we used to have about 10 different options for parties, but at the moment we can only have about 5, I believe. So we've had to kind of shorten that down. We have to make sure that everything that we make is cooked. So it has to be heated up to kind of kill the bacteria that might be in that food. But overall, we make mostly the same things. It's just I think the birthday parties are the biggest limitations that we've had.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right. So the pandemic has hit businesses hard, of course. Has there been many cases in the area or even at the academy this past year as an example of that?
Yeah. So 2 of my coworkers got COVID. I think one of them was maybe like the end of last year and one of them was the beginning of this year. But it didn't affect them that much. They're both fine now. They're both healthy. They were able to quarantine. We were able to take their, classes. But those are the only ones that I know about. I don't think any of my kids have gotten COVID. I've had kids kind of come and go due to like either a rise or a drop in cases. But I don't know any of my kids have actually gotten it. So that is just wonderful.
No kidding. Yeah, let's count our blessings when they come. So we've discussed teaching and operation at the Chef's Academy. Let's take a look at Miki on an average Wednesday evening, teaching her kids.
What's weird is that I can output very dark, sad kind of ideas, but I cannot handle or intaking dark, sad ideas. It's very weird. I can give off. Once we have Dominick in building it, so please be as respectful as you can. So that means not talking too much. Last week we said to go to a 1 or 2 or 3 or something. So let's try to keep it down there for the time he's here and also after, just because that's everything. Our class is very loud. I'm glad that you guys enjoy having each other in here as well. But we have to be a little bit more
So how'd the class go?
The train would go by at the time. Sorry. It went pretty well. You know, good things happening. Were they a little loud? Yes, but of course. But the recipes came out good. Everything was good. So, 10 out of 10 class.
What would you like to say to those who are interested in culinary classes for either themselves or their kids?
Well, I mean, if you would like to, you can check us out. Our website is Claremont Chefs Academy. I said it wrong. I love that. Anyways, it's ClaremontChefsAcademy.com, or you can just Google Claremont Chefs Academy. Currently, our classes are kind of booked for our kids especially. But if you call, you can join a wait list. We have adult classes if anyone is interested in that. That is 18 plus. If you're 21, you can bring alcohol. So that's fun. But yeah, I highly suggest taking any kind of culinary classes, no matter if you're just beginning or if you're, you know, advanced like me. But just taking culinary classes is so much fun, and you get to learn things, you get to try new things, and I think it's just awesome. So Jefferson, hopefully we see you down there soon. Anyone else watching?
Yes, I want to come because I am cooking culinary challenged. As I told you earlier before we started recording, I tried to make something for my wife and I almost killed her. So I think she would like it if I could do things other than boil water. So,
Probably, yeah.
So thank you for that invitation, and I'll happily put myself on a wait list to be able to study and learn how to cook with you, my dear.
Oh.
So that brings us to the end of our segment. I'd like to thank our very special guest, Miki Stevens. Thank you so much, Miki, for being on our show tonight and discussing culinary arts.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was wonderful.
I'm going to call you the culinary arts goddess now. That'll be on your business card. Can
A
you put that?
goddess?
Yes, why not?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So make sure everybody gets to refer to you that way. Well, thank you for watching Beach Variety Culinary Arts. I'm Jefferson Denim.